Have you ever noticed that the most respected person in the room is rarely the loudest one talking? In fact, the people who command the most attention are often the ones who speak the least. So why is silence so powerful, and how can you use it to gain more respect than you ever could by talking? Let me tell you about two employees I knew. Their names were Marcus and David, and they worked at the same marketing firm. Marcus was the guy everyone heard from constantly. He'd jump into every meeting with his thoughts, crack jokes, share stories about his weekend, offer his opinions on things that had nothing to do with him. He was friendly, approachable, and always had something to say. People liked him. They'd grab lunch with him. But when it came time to decide who'd lead the next major campaign, the CEO didn't choose Marcus. He chose David. David was quiet. You'd go days barely hearing him speak. But when he did say something in a meeting, the room would actually pause. People would lean in. His words carried weight because they were rare. He didn't fill silence with noise. He didn't need to prove he was smart by talking constantly. When he shared an idea, it was thoughtful, deliberate, and usually brilliant. The CEO noticed something. David was the one people actually listened to. Marcus was the one people heard, but David was the one they respected. So what's actually happening here? Let's talk about the psychology behind this. The first principle is what researchers call the power of withdrawal. When you speak less, you create scarcity around your words and your presence. In psychology, what's scarce becomes valuable. Think about it. If something is everywhere, readily available, it loses value. But if something is rare, we want it more. When Marcus talked all the time, his words lost value. People heard him so much that nothing he said stood out. But David's silence created intrigue. People wondered what he was thinking. They anticipated his rare comments. His withdrawal from constant communication made his presence feel more significant. This isn't just about words either. When you're not the one always trying to fill every gap in the conversation, people feel your absence in the room. They notice you. And when you do engage, it feels intentional, not automatic. Now let's talk about dominance. In psychology and evolutionary biology, one of the strongest indicators of confidence and dominance is the ability to remain calm and composed when others are anxious and reactive. Think about how animals behave in nature. The alpha doesn't need to constantly prove itself through aggressive displays. It's secure enough to move slowly, to pause, to let others fill the space around it. In human social hierarchies, the same thing applies. When you talk constantly, you're signaling anxiety. You're trying to fill space. You're trying to convince people you matter. But when you're silent, you're signaling confidence. You're saying, I don't need to convince you of anything. I'm secure enough to let my presence speak for itself. People instinctively recognize this. They sense that you're in control, that you're not desperate for validation, and that triggers respect. It triggers a subconscious recognition that you're operating from a position of power, not insecurity. The third principle is simple. Scarcity creates value. Your time is scarce. Your attention is scarce. Your words are scarce. When all of these things are rare, people want them more. When David spoke less, his time felt more valuable. When he gave his attention to someone in a conversation, it felt special because he didn't give it to everyone equally. When he offered his words, people treasured them. Marcus, by contrast, was giving everything away for free. His time, his attention, his words, they were abundant. And because they were abundant, they had no real value in the eyes of others. The respect you seek doesn't come from being heard. It comes from being listened to. And the way to be listened to is to speak less, more deliberately, and only when you have something truly worth saying. Silence isn't weakness. Silence is power. Start using it today and watch how the respect you receive changes.